Hi, this is Joyce Polino Crane. I'm the news director at Westford Cat, and I have the pleasure of standing next to our selectman chairman, Elizabeth Almeida. And she is a farmer, and she has a garden here at the Community Gardens, and we're going to take a tour of her beautiful plants and produce that's growing here.
I'm happy to show you around. This year I tried something new and added raised beds to my perennial plot down at the community garden, and also added trellises down the middle. And then on the side of the trellis I have these little plants. These are sweet peas, flowering sweet peas, and I use these in my cut flower arrangements in the summer. And then here I have a volunteer tomatillo plant, and every time I come to the garden this plant is loaded with bees. There are hundreds of little yellow flowers, and there are all types of both honeybees and native pollinators all over this plant every day. And then in the back here I have one of my favorite vegetables. This is a tromboncino squash plant. You can see that's it's Italian for trombone. As they grow, you can see they become much larger and will eventually turn into a hard winter squash that's much like butternut and can be stored for several months in the winter. And then in the back of my plot I keep a lovely patch of flowers. I love the zinnias for cut flowers. And then as we move around we have more flowers and a big patch of carrots. So we can turn around. I have a bed here of lettuce. I planted a whole bed of lettuce, and then every few days I just come down and harvest a couple more heads of lettuce to take home for dinner. Great, so over on this side we have a huge patch of green beans, and our family loves beans, so I grow a lot of these every summer. Back in the corner I have another patch of tomatillos, which makes a terrific green salsa that I can freeze for the winter. It's a patch of lemon cucumbers. They grow cucumbers that are little yellow balls, and you can see they're just starting to form here. So up here in front we have some mature beets. My family's been eating these for the past few weeks. I just pull out the big ones every few days, and then I have another patch of small baby beets that are starting that should be ready towards the end of September when the garden closes. I'm growing a new crop this year. I'm trying leeks. And then in the front of that I have scallions, and again scallions are something we can pull a few of every week and keep enjoying those all season long. On this side of my garden I have an assortment of peppers, tomatoes, and eggplant. So right here we have a black jalapeno pepper, and then we have a variety of pepper called cherry bombs, and these will turn red. Delicious sweet pepper. These are Italian frying peppers. They start out green and they should turn red. Great for stuffing and frying. Lunchbox peppers, and you can see on the bottom of this plant it's loaded with the tiny 2-bite peppers that start off green and will turn red by the end of the season. And then of course the marigolds that everyone plants in with their tomatoes to help keep away some of the pests. Kale and chard, and on the far end I grow kohlrabi, which is a crunchy fresh vegetable that's quite tasty in the summer.
This is Joyce Polino Crane, and I'm here with Jo Crawford. She is planting a 15 by 30 garden. And I wanted you to tell us, Jo, what some of the things you're growing.
Well, right here at the edge we have a second crop of carrots, some sprouting broccoli, some butternut squash, some Tuscan kale growing, beans and tomatoes and potatoes, goes on and on. The zucchini are dying down, fortunately.
And you are also the volunteer who helps, who coordinates collecting food for the food pantry in Westford. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that.
So once a week we have a volunteer who will come and pick up all the extra produce. The gardeners collect their extra produce, put it in the shed in coolers, and they also bring ice so that it's all kept cold. And on Monday some volunteer picks it up from the senior center, takes it to the senior center where it's distributed, and then on Tuesday after I finish working there I bring all the coolers back and get them back in the shed so we can start the process all over again. Last year we did around 1,300 pounds of food to the food pantry. It was quite a bit.
So nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us here at the Community Gardens.
Thank you.
For Westford Cat News, this is Joyce Polino Crane. See you around town.